StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Today, it is a best of 7 series between Nerchio and ShoWTimE from WCS 2016 Spring. Alright, in the bottom side of the map here in Game 1, we have the blue Zerg player, it is Nerchio. And in the top side of the map, we have the red Protoss player, it is ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is from Team Millennium and hails from Germany, while his opponent today, the filthy Zerg Swarm, is a Zerg player playing for Euronics Gaming and from the nation of Poland. So Poland versus Germany today in our finals from WCS 2016. Very, very excited to bring you this entire series. I do like casting entire series. It does seem like a good time most of the ways. Sometimes solo casting 7 games in a row gets a little bit tiring, I guess. But I do get breaks between the games, which is kind of similar to the real life thing. So not too hard to do at all for you people, and you seem to appreciate them, so hey, why not? Okay, so it looks like it is going to be a gateway expand out here from ShoWTimE and a hatch first on the low ground from Nerchio. This does allow him to get his creep spread started sooner on this map. If he throws his hatchery down here, he can't really get the creep going out across the map until he goes down the ramp, or gets a third base, and then he can start going, and that really does slow some things down. It's also easier to defend, I've heard explained, to where if you put your base here, easier to defend your ramp against adepts and your second base, as opposed to your ramp and your second base, which is back here. It just kind of consolidates your defensive efforts. ShoWTimE coming out with a scouting probe. I love that he does this. He just stays active with it. No, he doesn't necessarily kill anything, but it's always good for scouting. It's always good for trying to keep your opponent off balance and off kilter. Does let you know, is this a 3-hatch opening out of Nerchio? And it's not, obviously, because there's a spawning pool here and there's not enough money to do so, but fairly close. Fairly close to being able to get there, and ShoWTimE checked just to make absolutely sure. There's the expansion Nexus from ShoWTimE, popping right on up. Second assimilator coming in here too, has the workers ready to go on that thing. 2 on this one. Does not have 3 on purpose. Oh, there's 3, and there's 3. Chrono boosting out an adept immediately. Also getting the warp gate research, not being chrono boost, just because that second nexus isn't ready and available quite yet. Probe still running around, not being annoying. Against a Terran player, ShoWTimE likes to try to kill SCVs and delay the construction of buildings, but against Zerg, you can't really do that. The building is going to happen whether you're stabbing it or not. Overlord scouting on in the typical locations to do that on this map. Setting one right here allows you to check out that second base and the third base. Also allows you to go into the main if you feel like doing that. And this Overlord comes popping up back here to check out what's going on inside the main. Also good for seeing if any Phoenix are coming out. You'll die in that case as the Overlord, but it's probably worth it. Meanwhile, an Adept pushing on out across the map here. Probe long distance mining from this location. Not saving up money. I'm not sure what that was. Probes really want to kill this pylon. The Adept just walks right on in. Queen should get some shots off on it if she sees it. No, doesn't see it. Adept sneaking in and just confirms there's the third base. Oh, did ShoWTimE see that actually? Yeah, ShoWTimE just barely caught a glimpse of that one. And throwing up a pylon, so not actually going for the Nexus quite yet here is ShoWTimE. So has some plans on the 2 bases. There's a Phoenix popping out. Metabolic boost just now wrapping up for the Zergy player. And after that is really the question. Do we get a Lair? Do we get a Roach Horn? Do we get more gas? Or just droning up? I assume the third base means Nerchio is just going to try to keep droning up here at the 3-minute mark. ShoWTimE, on the other hand, did find one of the Overlords here, killing it with the Phoenix. This one would do well to run or just scout. Scouting is also good. There's just nothing to see is the problem. I mean, yeah, there's a Stargate, but you know that's there. There's no robotics facility. There's no Twilight Council. There's no additional tech. Here at the 3-minute and 50-second mark you need to worry about. Phoenix does kill the 1, joins up with his friend. That's a dude, right? Let's see. Click on the Phoenix. Yeah, that's definitely a dude Protoss there. Another Overlord gonna die. And Nerchio is a little bit too good to get supply blocked by this. You'll notice he still has an ample amount of supply ready to go, even in the eventual death of his scouting Overlords. Piling up his Overlords around spawning pools. That is a great decision. At least if the Phoenix come killing him, make him work for it, is what I say. I don't know why he doesn't have a spawning or a Spore Crawler here. Did I say spawning pool? I meant Spore Crawler. Or on Spore Crawlers, just for their anti-air capability, is very good against the Phoenix. Queens stabbing away, getting shots off. Any shots you can get off now is going to be worth it in the long run, making them that much more weak, that much more susceptible to things like spore shots. What is this actually called? Acid Spew. Acid Spew coming out. Lifting off one of the drones, but in range of that there Spore Crawler, getting not good at all, taking damage taking damage, but doesn't actually lose one. A little bit too good with that Phoenix control to lose a drone. Very annoying indeed, though, for Nerchio. Income tab 50 to 48 total harvesters in favor of the Zerg player. Just a slight lead on these 3 bases, and that 3rd base is now up for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is now double pumping robotics facilities, which tells me I think we're going to see Immortals here. It just seems to make a lot of sense compared to things like Disruptors. Which Zerg players have found, I don't know, Zerg players have found Disruptors to be good, but not super good at these higher levels, just because splits are pretty easy, unless you're going really heavy Roach Ravager, in which case it's difficult. Spore Crawler, again, getting shots off. Drones are dying, and none of these Phoenix are actually getting killed. ShoWTimE's control has been a little bit too good for that. Trying to get them out of this back alley corner. Get away from my store, you youngins. Stop smoking back there, is what Nerchio was saying. But no, they come on back. They swing back on around. Hydralisk Den is on the way for Nerchio here at 5 minutes. Another Spore Crawler coming up. I like this for Nerchio, recognizing the need for additional static defense, as the Phoenix Cloud is about 5 now. If you have 2 or 3, you can be fine with a Spore Crawler in each of your mineral lines, but if there are 5, things get bad. Nice scout of that Hydralisk Den, seeing exactly what is coming. Now that actually tells me, oh no, it's going to be an Immortal, and it's going to be double pumped Immortals. So still keeping with Immortals, despite the fact that Immortals do not do their extra damage against Hydras. They do against Lurkers, so if that's something Nerchio is planning on going for eventually here in game number 1, that could be very useful. Spore Crawler popping up right here as well. Again, the additional static defense, fantastic. A 4th base for Nerchio on the way, and ShoWTimE is possibly saving up money to go for a 4th Nexus of his own. Wouldn't be surprised if he put it here. Just putting it here really opens it up to harassment from the high ground, especially here on Dusk Towers. Creep spread continuing, has halted for a little bit at this location. The Phoenix continue to bounce around, killing drones. How many has he gotten? 13 drones killed. Still 68 to 66 workers. Nerchio has that lead, but again, without that harassment, it'd be a lot closer to 70, 80 for Nerchio than otherwise. Muscular Augments coming up. Pneumatized Carapace on the way. Why does he want fast Overlords? Maybe so they can run away? I don't know. Have any of these Phoenix been killed? No. ShoWTimE has lost nothing. Nothing in this game thus far, and is absolutely laying waste to that mineral line for Nerchio. Flying over this creep, checking to see is there a base down here. I've already scouted this one, right? He has scouted it. Scouted it, killed an Overlord. Boop, that does supply block Nerchio, unfortunately for him, and it is a Lurker Den and a Nidus network on the way. So, ooh, this could be good. I do love Nidus in StarCraft 2. It just seems like an underused and over-fun mechanic. But it's expensive. It's a lot of gas for Zerg. If it doesn't work, then you're pretty much out, 200, 300, 400 gas, and that can be the difference between winning and losing, especially against a Protoss player. So there's that. Boop, 4th Nexus being constructed, no problem whatsoever. Phoenix flying around trying to kill more of these. Oh, the Hydras do catch one of the Phoenix. A little bit careless there with ShoWTimE. Flew right into that big ball of Hydras that I think he knew was there. Perhaps he forgot temporarily. Getting +1 melee attack and +2 missile attack right now. Why melee attack? You must be, I guess you do have Sumlings on the field right now. 16 is fine. 16, 22 Hydras and no Roaches at all. We haven't seen a Roach Warren, so this makes sense. Small group of Hydras here, basically begging the Phoenix to fly over them. Hydras coming up to the front door with the Lings. They do catch the Observer, but ShoWTimE already saw exactly what is coming at the front door here. There are Archons. There are a lot of Immortals. Again, I don't know if the Immortal is the correct tech choice, but that's a lot of stuff. Army supply 81 to 74 in favor of ShoWTimE. Phoenix continuing to fly around, picking up drones, picking up. Did they just kill a Lurker there? That might have been a Lurker they killed. Oh, but flying over the Hydras, a few of them die. Once again, that's why you put the Hydras in random spots. You can't chase them down, but you can put them in odd locations and then hope that ShoWTimE flies over them. All right, so Banelings. All right, there we go. Banelings with that +1 attack. Very good. Going to load them up with the Hydras inside these Drop Lords with Pneumatized Carapace. Zealot comes in, gets surrounded and murdered. Man, that took a while, though. What are their upgrades right now? +2 attack, no armor upgrade, and no shield upgrade. So really going for hitting hard and leaving it at that. All right, so Nerchio is going to try to drop inside the main base, I think, while threatening at the front door and basically trying to keep ShoWTimE busy here at the 3rd. And yeah, a Ling run by getting right on inside here, warping of a few Zealots. Ling's not quite sure what to do. Ling's now focusing down some stuff here, getting some probes. There's the drop, though. The Hydras are here inside the main base. 10, 12, 13, a lot of dead probes at this location. The Hydras finally do manage to take down the robotics facility. Are they going to get it? It's going to be close. One more shot. Yes, photon overcharge cleaning up to some point. Another drop of lurkers back here, laying waste to the natural. Wow, that's a lot of dead probes there. And an attack down here as well. Ling's just keeping the army busy. Here at the 4th base, anything still alive here? Couple lurkers still alive here. The Nexus does end up falling. Oh, the mothership core, did that just die? I think that's what that was. This is completely gone. Lurkers should probably move into the main at this point. A Hydralisk then at the front, bringing the Hydras, Nidus network with the Hydras popping out there right at the front door here. Lurkers and Hydras. This is not looking good at all for ShoWTimE. Nerchio is maxed out. The Archon's trying to push it away. Back into the Nidus network they come, though, and Nerchio does manage to escape with most of his units, but now he pushes up with most of those units over on here, and here we go with ShoWTimE. He has the Immortals, but again, not so good against Hydras. Ling's absorbing a lot of the hits here, actually, allowing the Hydras to do what they can from the back line. A force field does come up. Doesn't stop lurker swipes, though, at all. That Nexus does end up falling. Another Nidus network popping inside the main base here. This does not look good at all for ShoWTimE. He needs to see that and stop it. He needs to stop it now. Heading back on in to the very handy Nidus. Going to pop into the main. Where's the army? Where is the army? Do they know that Nidus network is there? They don't. They can't see it. The link starts streaming out, and now he knows. Now he knows. Long distance mining from these probes on over there. It's 200 to 137 total supplies. That explosion of pylons should get his attention here. Trying to come up this ramp is ShoWTimE. Trying to come up it, and Guardian Shield comes up, but he is woefully outnumbered at this point. The number of Hydras alone is very intimidating, but the Lurker Spines really tearing through the Immortals now. One Immortal falls, 2 Immortals here next. The Hydras doing their damage. Archon, nope, Archon explodes there as well, and that's it. The GG. GG from ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is defeated, and Nerchio takes game number 1 of the best of 5 series. Very, very impressively. What an absolutely stunning turn of events. ShoWTimE had the correct composition. He had a big old army. He had a whole ton of bases there. But Nerchio just said Nidus Worm, attack the 4th. Ling run by, attack the 3rd. Nidus Worm, attack the natural. And a Drop Lord play, attack the main. He just multitasked his way to victory there today. Didn't lose anything really back home. I mean, yeah, he lost some workers, 16, but ended up killing 31 on his own. I mean, at the end there, it was 8 lurkers, 19 Hydralisks, 73 workers to 39 probes, and that was enough. It was enough. Nerchio made it work. Incredible multitasking. APM for these guys, yeah, 350 for Nerchio, 260 on average for ShoWTimE. So that's game number 1. Stick around, and we'll do game number 2 coming up next. Welcome back for game number 2 between Nerchio and ShoWTimE in this best of 7 final series from WCS 2016 Spring that wrapped up last month sometime. And let's go ahead and get right on into it. In the bottom right of Frozen Temple, we have the red Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE, representing Team Millennium. And in the top left side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Nerchio from Euronics Gaming. So both of these players are very solid in their own right. Again, to make it to the finals of this tournament did not require a small amount of skill. It required a large amount of skill. So to be here at all is just so impressive. Such a feather to put in the caps of these two players. Game 1, as we just saw, went to Nerchio with one of the more amazing multi-pronged attacks I've seen from a Zerg player ever. I mean, the Drop Lord play, the Nidus play, the Ling run by, just basically yanking ShoWTimE in 4 different directions at once. ShoWTimE did what he could, but man, I especially feel like the attack with the Lurkers on the natural, destroying that Nexus in what felt like seconds. The attack on the 4th base with a big old army too. ShoWTimE just couldn't quite split his units well enough to make it happen. And really, that's when Protoss is at its least dangerous. If you can have them defending, not as good as if when they're sitting right on your front door, at least at Zerg. So Nerchio said, how can I keep ShoWTimE from sitting on my front door? And the answer was aggression. The answer was multi-pronged attacks. And he just did it until he won. I mean, that was the game plan. So excellent micro on display there too. ShoWTimE had a good army. He had a good economy. He just couldn't quite get up there to the heights that Nerchio was at that moment. But we'll have to see how ShoWTimE bounces back here in game number 2. Was that a pull first? Pull first from Nerchio. Pull first Nerchio. Did pull off just enough gas to get what? Is he just trying to go for metabolic boost here? He had 3, dropped it to 2, then dropped it to 1. And again, it just slows down the time. Okay, there it is. There it is. There's the metabolic boost on the way. So he's just going to get speedlings out. And he does want to get some speedlings out. The problem is this is a pretty nice wall for the ShoWTimE decided to do. Double gateway here with the cyber core. There go the double adepts, and double adepts against slow lings are incredible. This might just be a paper meets scissors type situation. where Nerchio went slowly, tried to get some harassment done. ShoWTimE went immediately for double Adept, and that could just be all she wrote for the early part of this game. So we'll see how Nerchio responds, because obviously speed's not going to be available for quite a while yet. The Lings will likely die if they meet in the middle of the map here. ShoWTimE is too good to let them run away, considering they are slow and terrible as it stands. Let's see, speed 4.13 and 3.5. I mean, yes, they're faster just barely, but that psionic transfer is actually faster than them. So once it comes up, there goes the psionic transfer, going to catch right on up to them. Another one of these Lings will die. Nerchio was in full retreat. He was planning on being aggressive, but nope, another one dies. And, oh, the juke backwards. Nerchio keeps this Ling alive for now. All the best StarCraft 2 players babysit their units. Even the smallest units like Lings will not actually let them die unless there's a reason for it. So Lings really want to get a surround here. A lot of Lings. Oh, the speed comes up, though. And can he get the surround on the Adepts? He does. He gets the surround. There's no running now, and the other one dies, too. Both of them die. All right, so speed came out in time. Nerchio made just enough Lings to make sure that they would die, taking a third base as well at this point. More Adepts coming up. And yes, speedlings are good out in the open, but if they can't get a surround, they're kind of terrible. So 4 Adepts here on the ramp. I mean, that's going to be, the Lings can't get through. They have map control, which is fantastic, but they can't really threaten ShoWTimE beyond that at all. ShoWTimE is now going for an opening of a Stargate like he did in game number 1. Can the Overlord scout this out? Did he see that? No. Why are you running away? All right, Overlord was in the process of scouting that and decided to come out and not die to the mothership core. I don't know what was scary there, Nerchio, but you're smarter than me, so you saw something that I did not. Inject, Nerchio. Do your thing. Ready, set, go. There it is. There it is. Queen Whisperer, Roach Warren at the front door, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like putting tech structures at the front door for anybody, really, just because the opposing army is going to be here eventually, right? And if they just focus down the Roach Warren, there's no more roaches for a while. And if that's what you're planning on using, and you are because you have a Roach Warren at the 4-minute mark, that can be a problem. One Ling does end up dead. The Adept versus Ling trials are coming. Nice juke. Trying to get out, losing 2 Lings there possibly, but Nerchio does manage to escape. The Overlord finally scouts out this Stargate. Once again, scouting the Phoenix opening. Nothing much to worry about there. Nerchio has been able to handle that, as he did in game number 1, without too much fuss. Yeah, you lose some drones, but in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't cause you to lose the game if you handle it well. Overlord explodes, dripping blood into this Vespene Geyser. Does that contaminate the Vespene Geyser? If there's Overlord blood inside it, does that mean that all the Vespene gas you get will turn you into a Zerg if you consume it? I don't know. These are the questions that should be asked, though, and should be answered by the lore masters at Blizzard. Adepts holding on to this third base from ShoWTimE. Seems like a fairly early third, but the third base is already constructed for Nerchio, so might as well. Why the heck not? Not injecting because you're creep tumoring. Is this one going to inject? Nope. This one's long distance walking over here. So much slower off. Creep must get there. Spore Crawler popping up there too, recognizing the threat of the Phoenix. Phoenix coming out. Roaches running back. Why are you going home, Roaches? You can't help against these Phoenix. I guess there's a Void Ray coming up for ShoWTimE. That's fun. That should be pretty good, actually. Creep spread. Gonna go ahead and finish. There it is. That helps a lot. That should connect, somewhat connect the second and third bases here. The Adepts decide to sit back. They do not pursue. The Phoenix flying around here too, but again, there are already Spore Crawlers here. I love what Nerchio is doing. Get the Spore Crawlers out, man, before the Phoenix arrive. If you get them after they arrive, you're going to lose 5 to 10 workers just because. I'm just not sure that that's entirely worth it. Spore and Spine pushing these Phoenix away. And lifting up a worker. Does take 3 shots from a Phoenix to kill a worker. You got to stay out of range of that anti-air defense, though. And doing a pretty good job of it, though. Scouting the lair timing. Did scout the Roach Warren again because that's right at the front door. No big deal. Phoenix, oh, look out. Taking shots, just trying to join his friends. Trying to prove that he's cool by picking up that drone, and they do kill it together. The friends that kill drones together stay together, is what I always say. 1 robotics facility on the way. A forge coming up. 2 pneumatized carapace for Nerchio, and missile attacks level 1 on the way for the Zerg player. Phoenix have been fairly successful thus far. 5 workers killed? Only 3, so a total of 3. Thought it was more than that. That's okay. Queens really marching out onto unknown positions to try and get these Phoenix, but a juke around. Hopefully that Spore Crawler is enough, and it might be. A bunch of these Phoenix are pretty low on health, down in the yellow or the orange, as it may stand, but just killing them. Just killing the workers, especially ones on the gas. That slows down Nerchio so much. Really does. Another attack here. Yep. Spore Crawler can't quite do it there. If you try to get the Overlord, though, it can stab at you pretty easily. Another base here for Nerchio. Creep Tumor planting down. I love the creep spread. It's not necessarily across the map, but it is doing a good job connecting all of his bases, which is huge if you're planning on defending with queens. Hydra's on the way for Nerchio. Warp Prism coming up. Possibly some special tactics in mind for ShoWTimE. Pylon, and robotics facility. Yeah, I mean, this thing here, too, with the tech structures right on the front door. Some Hydras come in, snipe this down, you're down a robotics facility. That hurts. I mean, that's an expensive rebuild. That takes a while. It's just not something you really want to see happen. But again, I'm sure ShoWTimE knows what he's doing. Lings. Accidental Ling Scout sees the Warp Prism. Sees the Warp Prism. Did he see that? Is he going to try to deal with that? Muscular Augments is just about to complete. The Hydras just as fast off creep. Nice little bonus there. Extra attack range as well. And Phoenix fly in, maybe to clear out the Overlords. Is there anything to defend against a Warp Prism harass here? The Hydra's pretty big number and can catch one. Nope, can't catch a single Phoenix. Keeping that alive. Keeping it alive. And let's see, 0 kills on that Phoenix. Almost dead. But hey, almost dead is better than completely dead. 4 kills on that Phoenix there as well. Warp Prism just hanging out right now. Workers killed 9-0. 77 to 67 Harvesters. Nerchio doing a great job with his macro as he did in game number 1 here. Phoenix burning down this cloud of Overlords. They do have speed, so a few of them can run before they all die, but 2 Overlords die? Two Overlords die, but before they can get to the safety of that Spore Crawler. Another base up here for ShoWTimE. I don't know what aggression Nerchio is planning on doing here. He has a Lurker Den, he has a Nidus Network. Is he just trying to do what he did in game number 1? It does seem that is what he is planning on doing here, and ShoWTimE's kind of letting him do it. It's 175 to 154 total supply. Small number of Hydras here. Is that Creep Tumor going to fall? Oh, no, he got it. He got it. There's another one right here, though, so not a huge deal, I suppose. Hallucinated Phoenix sealing what we're dealing with, or seeing what we are dealing with here, and this Warp Prism's moving in at the same time. This attack is moving to the 4th base, so Warp Prism. Let's keep an eye on this first here. What is in it? Just Adepts. Just Adepts. Going to go ahead and try to kill as many drones as they can. The attack is not necessarily coming at the same time for ShoWTimE, and they do force it away. The Hydras do kind of come out of position, though. I guess another group of Hydras and Lurkers back here. So Nerchio splitting his army well enough to defend this very easily, but should have enough units back here to defend against an attack from the big army from ShoWTimE at this particular location. Swinging around back home is the Warp Prism. Left the Adepts kind of out in the cold, possibly to die. I'm not entirely sure. Another base? Where are these drones going? Drones, are you attacking? The drones are attacking. Are they stuck in somebody's control group? I don't know. Here comes ShoWTimE. Guardian shield up. Archons, Immortals, Sentries, Lings getting massacred right at the front there. Trying to lift up the Lurkers, but that's a lot of Hydras. The Phoenix taking some damage for sure. Just pushing forward, Nerchio decides to kill the Phoenix. Not pursue too far off of creep there. Not a problem. These drones came down here for reasons I'm not entirely sure I understand. I don't know. Did he just drop? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Didn't kill any workers. There was some attempt of drop lord something here. Adepts did sneak on in, but that just means the Hydras find them and kill them before they can do that again. No more sneaking around for you guys, Adepts. Did he make these drop lords and do nothing with them? Very seems like that is what happened. So it's 197 to 188 total supply. Killing a changeling that tried to sneak around there as a zealot. There are actually zealots in this army, so that's not a bad thing to sneak around and try to do. Another base, there it is. Planting his base right there is this 5th for Nerchio. Group of zealots tries to come in, but theirs is a lot of Lings. A lot of Zerglings. Hydra support too means they will die immediately, and they do. ShoWTimE dancing around on the creep. Not quite sure where to go at this point. Spore Crawler dies immediately. Guardian shield up there too, but man, those spines are tearing through the army. Just going for it though is ShoWTimE. Hydra's coming around from the bottom side, trying to take out as much of these Immortals as possible. The Immortals, again, take damage, but do extra damage to those Lurkers as well, doing a nice concave, but no, the top side concave gets immediately destroyed. The bottom side concave looking good, but Force Field does force them up just a little bit here. Nerchio does not want to retreat from the safety of his 2 Lurkers with 4 kills and 3 kills each. ShoWTimE backs out as well. Both players just feeling each other out right now. Not quite sure they want to fully commit. Spore Crawlers at the front line, hopefully trying to get observers, but I'm sure that ShoWTimE is too good to lose an observer to that. Just marching right on through. Full evacuation of drones from the 4th base. The hatch dies in seconds. In seconds for ShoWTimE. Absolutely strong. Strong showing from the Protoss army. +2 attack has completed there, and Nerchio with +2 attack of his own. So upgrades are keeping together? I don't know. They're keeping up with each other. It's poor Immortal. Comes out of the robotics facility, gets surrounded by Lings, and dies a little bit too soon, a little bit before his time. Lings coming in to threaten this third base. Photon Overcharge is here, though. Mothership Core going to get focused down by the Hydras. I'm not sure. Pylon's dying first. Then the Mothership Core ends up dead. Coming back to try to save it is ShoWTimE. Here come the Archons. No, is he just letting this thing go? I mean, he's trying to kill reinforcements as they come up this ramp, trying to kill a couple of these lurkers, but this Nexus is going to die. Robotics facility dies their turn. Nerchio decides to leave, does not want to attack into this at all, but he does do a lot of work there. Oh, a Nidus network inside the main base for Nerchio. This is insane. Hydras, I don't know if you want to engage, and they don't. They're trying to run, but the Zealots with the charge are stabbing them in the back as they try to retreat here. A couple free Overlords might distract some of these units. And there it is. There is the Nidus network. Oh, a few Lings come out. The Zealots discovered that one. Nicely done, as always. A couple more Zealots over here going to get cleaned up by these Lings. Great positioning, though. I mean, they'll die, but they're going to take a few Lings with them. Another hatch dying to ShoWTimE. Archons in the front, Immortals in the back. Just such a great combination here. Nothing really in the air to worry about, so maybe that Archon count doesn't need to be any higher than it is. 15 kills on that Archon. Looking good. Immortal, 5 kills, 9 kills, 13 kills on that one, 7 kills on that one. It's a Lurker Hydra Ling attack here while ShoWTimE is busy on the other side of the map. Good job. Good job of threatening this newly created Nexus as well. Can they get it? Photon Overcharge and a couple Archons do manage to show up. But I think that Nexus is gone. These Hydras trying to sneak in. Oh, the army. The army comes back to deal with them. And is he just... I mean, Zealots did show up. So enough units showed up to save both of these Nexus here. The Zealot Immortal or Zealot Archon composition looking pretty handy, if I do say so myself. Are these Hydras going to die? When's charge going to proc? There it is. On creep again. Faster still is that Hydra coming right on in, leading with the Archons, and one dies. One does get killed. A little bit too out in front there. A little bit Leroy Jenkinsy, if you ask me. Zealots running around the creep, trying to kill stuff, but the defense swarm of Lings is enough to actually hang on there. Lurkers, Hydras, +2 attack has completed. Revelation being tossed down. And both players just taking a bit of a breath here. Oh, Lurkers on the high ground, morphing in and getting destroyed. Bad place to morph in your Lurkers there, Nerchio. Bad place indeed. I think the big deal here is that ShoWTimE did not lose any of his 3 Nexuses that were assaulted by the Zerg Swarm. Meanwhile, a lot of hatches have died for Nerchio so far. Another one going to die. The Immortals focus it down, and boom! There it goes. Again, a full retreat of drones here. Nerchio is at a bit of a loss. Dark Shrine coming out for ShoWTimE. Decides to do that one. Tries to attack here, but Revelation means that's impossible. You can't sneak it through. ShoWTimE's going to see it. I mean, I guess you can do it, but it's just impossible to do it without the Protoss player knowing about it there. Knocking down these rocks, making a wider choke for ShoWTimE to come on through and attack with. I like it. I like it very much. Nerchio, he's just kind of dancing. He's not quite sure if he wants to rebuild. He's not quite sure if he can kill this army. +3 attack has finished for ShoWTimE. He's getting Storm, he's getting Templar, he's getting Ground Armor level 1, and here it is, standing on in, sniping down an Archon, getting the Oracle too. Good focus from Nerchio on that one. Lurkers burrowing. ShoWTimE just doesn't want to engage into the Lurkers, I think is the idea here. Zealots trying to do with this base what they've done with so many bases before, but the Zealots defending very, very well. Archon's in there too. 11 kills, 12 kills on those. Pushing out, and he does get a couple more volleys onto the Nexus. Does end up killing it, exploding. So he does get one there. All right. So he's not in a terrible position. It's 189 to 184 total supply, 127 to 142 army supply, 63 to 46 workers in favor of Nerchio, but he doesn't have the bases right now. Look at this long distance mining going on as Zealot. All you can eat buffet right here, man. Kill as many drones as possible. Workers killed at this point is 31 to 19. Nerchio having killed more of them. This guy's a hero. 7 kills, 8 kills before he dies, and that is just fine with him. That is more than the average Zealot for sure. Again, morphing in Lurkers on the high ground might work out for him this time. Nope. No, it is not. Absolutely not. A Dark Shrine on the way. Nerchio doing the dance, man. +2 attack has completed. No sign of +3. No sign of ground carapace. Oh, the Storm. Storm is so good against Hydras. Not as good against Lurkers, but if you kill the Hydras, killing the Lurkers becomes that much more easy. DTs sneaking in. I'm not sure that Nerchio has any detection available to come save this, as he has a single Overseer. Oh, cancel on the hatch. Excellent decision to move into that DT tech. Pushing through the top side now. ShoWTimE recognizing the army might not be in a good position right now, marching right up the ramp. Yeah, there's a lurker, but so what? We will kill it as soon as our observer shows up. Yeah, they do. Another hatch possibly going to die. A lot of lurkers behind it, though. Small group of Hydras. Another attack on up here. Trying to get the 3 photon overcharged pylons. The Hydras make no notice of them at all. This base is going to die, but this base is going to die here, too. ShoWTimE just marching through. Guardian Shield is up, trying to negate the damage of these Hydras and these lurkers. The lurkers are just getting backed up against the wall and getting destroyed. It's 143 to 80 total supply. The Overseers die as well, thanks to the Archons with that +3 attack. Yeah, losing that was a bad idea, but the army supply definitely favoring the Protoss, and that's it. A GG from Nerchio. Nerchio is defeated. ShoWTimE is victorious here in game number 2 with an absolutely amazing display of fantastic composition. Archon, Immortal, Zealot, Sentry. Doing it here with a couple Templar to really break the ranks of those Hydras in the late game. Yeah, lost this space. Yeah, lost this one here as well, basically. I think these Hydras would have won this battle, depending on the micro employed by Nerchio. But in the end, it was close, but ShoWTimE managed to pull it out here, was double pumping Immortals to the end. Workers killed 40 to 65 by ShoWTimE. It was 12 left for Nerchio. Recognized he had no economy, he had no more bases, he had the smaller army, and he tapped out. So that's it for game number 2. Join me in just a second for game number 3. Welcome back, StarCraft fans. This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with game number 3 between Nerchio and ShoWTimE from the best of 7 series from the finals of WCS 2016. Currently, the series is tied up 1-1. And let's go ahead and introduce these players again. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Nerchio, hailing from Euronics Gaming. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE from Team Millennium. I do want to mention something that I did neglect to say earlier. Both of these players 3-0'd their opponents in a best of 5 series to get here to the finals in this tournament. Nerchio 3-0'd Polt. 3-0'd Polt to get here. On the other side of things, ShoWTimE 3-0'd Massa, who has been on a tear as Terran lately. Terran players who feel like they absolutely do have the advantage against Protoss might want to look up ShoWTimE, because that guy is good. That guy is really good. Right here, as a matter of fact. Alright, so again, both these players have really earned their right to be in this spot. As we could see, both of the first 2 games were close. They were close ones. I mean, Nerchio did have a very nice 4-pronged attack that worked out for him in the end. But game number 2, ShoWTimE did not have much left over when he forced Nerchio to tap out. That one came down to the wire. So we'll see how game 3 looks. It is a very standard hatch first into an extractor into a spawning pool play from the Nerchio. Checking for a quick third hatch. It's ShoWTimE, nothing to see there, and that's just fine with him. There's the Nexus after the gateway for ShoWTimE. And again, ShoWTimE loves his Nexus, or loves his Phoenix, rather. He absolutely loves getting a group of 5 Phoenix out, killing as many drones as possible. Really, that's how he slows down the macro machine for the Swarm. So we'll keep that in mind, see if that's something that's in plan, or if ShoWTimE's gonna go ahead and do something different. Try to flip it around on the Zerg player. That does seem like something of a possibility. He really wants to know when that third base comes up. ShoWTimE saying, what? How? Why is there not a third base yet? Nerchio likes to get an early third. There's nothing for me to block. Maybe he was waiting for a Ling escort or something. These 2 drones could be going to take a third. Nope, not enough minerals to do it. So never mind. They're just going to be there to drone. Metabolic boost is on the way. A couple queens are on the way. This is an opening that has been the same since the beginning of time, at least against Terran. Didn't used to be really safe to do this against Protoss, but with the starting number of workers increased to 12, what that did was it allowed the players to have enough money to get a hatch down before a probe could show up after having made a forge at home and get some cannons down. So we have seen that done recently on the channel where probes do try to cannon rush a Zerg player to some level of success on both of them. It did really work out once on one of them. I'm not going to tell you which to spoil the problem, but so it is a possibility. So we do have to worry about that as Zerg players these days. Adept comes to save that probe's life, does a great job of it. 2-shotting the Zerglings. That's what Adepts are all about here. 21 damage, 22 damage versus Light is enough to kill a Ling with 2 shots. Queen wants to get those shots off early. Again, look how slow that HP is going down from the Queen. And oh, it was almost a block there. No, did keep one of the drones alive by turning it into a Spore Crawler temporarily, then canceling it, getting the money back. The Adept decides it is not worth staying. Too many Lings, too much of a Queen, and the Adept decides to head on back home. Did you get any kills there? No, surprisingly, no drone kills. at all. So good micro there from Nerchio. Zealot trying to knock down these rocks. That will knock down this set of rocks. That will create a nice little block here. The Lings running on the side where the Zealot is not. Checking for a third base. There's not one. That's got to feel good as well. Can the Lings get in? It's a Great Wall from ShoWTimE, though. We had not the Great Wall of China, just the Great Wall of Ruins of Endion. Gateway, Cybernetics Core, and Nexus Adept. Pylon, Gateway, Gateway. I like it. The only way Lings can get through here is by killing this Adept, which is hard to do when you're attacking one at a time, especially if Photon Overcharge is available on that Pylon. Phoenix on the way, as expected, as predicted, but an Oracle first. Alright, so some Oracle harass might be something Nerchio does not expect. He's got a Roach Warren popping in right now. Does he have Queen Spore Crawler? He doesn't. Oh no! Oh no, a full pull of all the drones is required here. That is a lot of dead drones. Can he get the... No. He only gets 4 or 3. I thought he'd get at least 4 or 5. But good reaction time of Nerchio getting out of there. You really need a Spore Crawler and a Queen to avoid losing... I mean, less than 6 workers, unless you pull them all, apparently, as Nerchio did. That just slows down your economy so much. Such a slowdown. Ling's trying to get through, but like I said, the Adept's ready to go. Doesn't even try to attack her. Overlord does scout on in, sees exactly what we're dealing with before he ends up dying as well. Oracle tries to sneak on in, doesn't get another kill, unfortunately, as there are 2 queens here. 2 queens, very good against Oracles. 1 queen again, by herself, not that amazing. 1 Spore Crawler here with the queen, enough to hold it off. And just trying to fly on. And the Oracle really wants to earn some respect here. 3 kills is not enough. A Revelation is a nice toss down, although I suppose there's nothing really much of a surprise right there. Another one possibly. Just getting hit by queens is bad. Queens are so good at anti-air. Bouncing back and forth. The Mothership Core being used to make sure these rocks don't get knocked down. I like that choice. And a 3rd Nexus on the way for ShoWTimE. Twilight Council on the way here too. Robotics Facility, one of those. And a Forge for the upgrades that players who are good always get. Creep Spread just now popping down. Brand new Creep Tumor heading out across the sky, or across the ground as it were. Another Scouting Ling. And can it get in? No, the last second warping of a Zealot, and the Ling gets killed. It really wanted to check out the main base is what it wanted to do, but I feel like Overlord didn't scout this. Interesting. So Blinkstalker's coming up for ShoWTimE. He's not really going with a heavy Phoenix play. Does he have any? He has 1. He's got 1. Nerchio didn't overreact to the 1 Phoenix. Doesn't even have a Spore Crawler in his main yet. So basically he just says, show me a large number of Phoenix, and then I'll go ahead and react accordingly. But as it stands, I don't really need to. 4th base coming up for the Nerchio. Big old warping of sentries mixed in here too. ShoWTimE does love his sentries. Going to have to knock down these rocks to get out eventually, but for now, they've kept him pretty safe, I would say. Oracle scouts this one. Excellent timing by ShoWTimE, seeing exactly what is up. The Lings coming to knock these down while the Mothership Core is away. Mothership Core, no, your job is to check this out. And they don't have any attack upgrades. This will be a couple minutes before this set of rocks is actually destroyed. But that's okay. Lings have nothing better to do at this point. They can't get through there, that's for sure. So might as well open up a path along the south on this map to try to kill the Protoss opponent. Ground weapons, level 1 on the way here to Blink. Just about complete. It's just a really long upgrade, and it's not being chrono boost, and, you know, we'll get there eventually. Oracle can afford to get stabbed in the face a couple times by queens. Maybe not that many, though. Yeesh, down to 31 total hit points. Hallucinated Phoenix? Nope, actual Phoenix flying around to scout this thing out. There's that Lurker Den. And is that Hydralisk Den? And a Lurker Den. Okay, wow. So he really wants to get that muscular augments while having the ability to make Lurkers too. So this is definitely going to be a Hydra Lurker play. Is ShoWTimE going to be ready for it? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Hydra's coming in to lend their DPS in this situation. They do not have +1 attack, not yet, but it's on the way. +1 melee attack coming up too for these Lings, but again, not quite complete. Force fields here will be incredible. Ready? Do you want to test ShoWTimE's force fields? No. No, says Nerchio. No, I really don't want to. Queen, get back to the creep. Queen, run. Oh, force field keeps her dead. And did he cancel that? I don't think he canceled it. Doesn't matter. Observer scouting the remainder of these creep tumors. Nerchio says, you're going to threaten me? Threaten my 3rd base that doesn't, or 4th base that doesn't exist yet? I'll show you. And then decides just to back on out. Doesn't really want to go on creep any more than necessary. And Oracle does show up here and does get 8 kills. Oh, up to 8 now. All right, good. Redeemed himself on that one. Again, no Spore Crawler, a single queen. Not enough to really stop that from happening. 5 kills right there, as we can see, thanks to the Game Heart interface. pushing through here, and some drop lord action with Hydras sneaking on out while the army is pushing into the main base. Not sure this is good timing for Nerchio. The lurkers are here though, and if they can burrow, not many immortals. That is not a good look. Immortals are what really do the damage to the lurkers. Stalkers, not so much. Zealots, not so much. Sentries, not so much. So there's one immortal. There's a couple disruptors coming out now, but the Hydras have landed. Photon overcharge, trying to deal with this as best as it can. Triple photon overcharge. And everybody runs, and most everybody dies except for one Overlord and one Hydra. Spines coming from that left side. ShoWTimE says, ugh, I don't like that at all. I'm not going to walk into there. And doesn't. Lings and lurkers are trying to knock down this front door. We have attacks on every front right now. ShoWTimE coming back home to defend. Does not like the look of this. Lurker 33 damage versus armored. Rocks are armored. So with the help of these Lings with the +1, bam, piece of cake. Lings come right on in. There are disruptors. Focus the disruptors. No. Nope, Purification Nova comes in to kill the lurkers that were there a second ago, but Nerchio recognized what he saw and said, disruptors, I don't like that, and runs, knocking down these rocks too. Just destroyer of rocks right now is Nerchio. Lings and lurkers and Hydras trying to come through here, but not going to happen. The army is here, first of all, moving in, defended very well indeed with stalkers. Lurkers burrowing on the creep. They don't have to be on creep to burrow, but it still makes them feel more comfortable to do so, I believe is what we're seeing here. And, I mean, just Purification Nova, wow, killing 2 of them, greatly weakening the remainder of them. Another one does die with a single hit, dancing back and forth here. Good defense, though, by ShoWTimE. Guardian Shield is up. 4 Guardian Shields. They don't stack, but still, might as well have them, I suppose. Force fielding out ShoWTimE's army, or Nerchio's army, from being able to do anything about this at all. Knocking the rocks down to, keep Nerchio out. He's keeping Nerchio out. Oh, boy. Oh boy, another queen trapped against the force field. Will she live? No, she does not live. Does not live. Ling's trying to come through here. And what this does is Nerchio's unit producing structures are here, and his army is here, so he can't really do anything to come together about this. Force fielding the ramp again. ShoWTimE really making great use of force fields in this match. Hydra's trying to come in. Purification Nova. Goodbye, lurkers. Goodbye, Hydras. Yeah, goodbye a couple of those Hydras. ShoWTimE 198 to 157. Total supply, continuing to force field out that section of the army. Guardian Shield is up again, pushing through, killing the lurkers, not worrying about the lurkers, killing Hydras as best as possible. Stalkers in here as well, trying to kill everything. Lings and Hydras and drones trying to save it, but I'm not sure that it is enough. Lings coming in, they don't care about force field at all, or Guardian Shield at all. And ShoWTimE just continuing to whittle away here at Nerchio's defenses, blinking forward. The offensive blink coming from the backside. There are some Lings. Purification Novas do get 4 Hydras. Lurker trying to burrow in, but there's only one of them. There is an observer in the air. They can see it. They can see the lurker, and they do. They blink on top of it. They manage to kill it, reinforcing Zealots in, and that's it. A GG. A GG from Nerchio. Nerchio is defeated, and ShoWTimE is victorious and does end up taking game number 2. Whoop, game number 4. Wait, where are we right now? Game number 3? Game number 3. The series is now 2-1 in favor of ShoWTimE after dropping games 1. Dropping game 1 has come back to win games number 2 and 3. And here we are. All right, so that, again, just absolutely. Once he showed up here, when ShoWTimE decided to commit to this particular location, he force fielded off these ramps, he knocked these rocks down, and then just pretty much made sure that Nerchio, anything he built out of these 2 bases, these 2 hatches, was useless. They couldn't get anywhere. Lings that tried to come down here got absolutely eviscerated. Hydralisks tried to come down, same thing happened. He just had the power in this particular location, did manage to hold it long enough to kill most of Nerchio's army, kind of in piecemeal 2s and 3s. Groups of 10 and 12 rather than the entirety of Nerchio's army at once. So good job using the force fields to make the map work to his benefit. Also did a great job holding off the Hydralisk drop back here. The attacks in here didn't do much of anything either. So a good combination of defensive and offense. ShoWTimE takes game number 3, and meet me for game number 4 in just a second. Hey StarCraft fans, we're back with game 4 between ShoWTimE and Nerchio in this best of 7 series. And let's go ahead and introduce the players. In the top left side of Invader, the ladder edition, we have the red Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE. And in the top right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Nerchio. So again, ShoWTimE is up 2 games, 2-1 after 3 games. Dropped game 1 to an amazing play by Nerchio, but took games 2 and 3 fairly handily, I would have to say. I mean, it was close. Nerchio did have a fairly big army, but ShoWTimE just managed to really never fully engage. Like, it used to be that the Protoss players were the ones who wanted to engage with a giant army. against the Zerg, but as it stands, it's just different now. Colossus are gone. There are still disruptors, obviously, but Zerg players can really stand toe-to-toe with big maxed out Protoss armies in a way they couldn't about 2 years ago. So we'll see exactly how this works out again. If ShoWTimE will be careful, as he has thus far. He really has these maps figured out too. He knows exactly where to place pylons, where to place gateways to wall off against the Zerg swarm. There are these backdoor rocks into your natural you have to worry about, so always keep an eye on that thing. Zerg players do like to put overlords in this particular location, as it keeps an eye on the front, keeps an eye on the natural and that ramp. It's just kind of a nice overlord hangout spot here on Invader. Nerchio does guess correctly. This is a 4-player map. You can spawn here or here, as we did today, or down here, as I've seen previously on the channel. So overlord boosting its way in as much as an overlord can boost, and I think he did the thing where you come in just far enough to see your opponent, but not far enough that they see you. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. ShoWTimE does not know where the Zerg player is, but based on the fact that it saw this overlord, this probe, is going to see exactly where these hatcheries are, no problem. So good effort there by Nerchio. Spawning pool just about to complete as well. Assimilator, and Nexus for ShoWTimE. Not fully walled off yet, not a big deal, doesn't have to worry about it as that spawning pool just now completed. It's not a crazy 6 pull or anything like that. I guess 12 pull is what you can do today. Cybercore just about to finish up, and I think we'll see an Adept. Ready, set, Adept. Instant Adept, instant Warp Gate research. This build is down to a science for ShoWTimE. Just absolutely beautiful. The way he has this early game ready to rock against Nerchio. 2 assimilators again, fully getting that gas out as you need for the Protoss. Zerg 2, you'll notice there's only 1 assimilator with 1 worker on it. Really wants to get that drone count up, which is what you'll know when your opponent Zerg doesn't have much gas. In the early game, only 1 worker on an assimilator means no quick lair, no quick tech, just really droning up as fast as he can. 2 drones on the way. Another hatch coming up there too. Yep, so trying to expand as best as possible. Ling's trying to kill this probe. The probe is not really... I mean, I thought maybe you'd try to run back here to the Adept and get saved, but not today. That probe just wanted to die. Maybe assuming that Nerchio was taking a 3rd there, didn't. However, Nerchio took a sneaky 3rd down here. The Adept could check that out. Unless the Adept has other more destructive things on her mind, as she may. Nope, sending... doing both. Doing both. What a great play. Moving the shade in, does scout it out. Checks for a base here, doesn't see one, and then just continues on her way right up to the front. 4 Lings and a Queen. Should be enough to be scary to that Adept, especially with the Queen stabbing away. Yeah, decides to back on out of there. Sends the shade in for the scout. Doesn't see much of anything, which tells her that it is likely just a 3-base play. Very standard opening from the Zerg. Nothing's to worry about in the next couple of minutes, and ShoWTimE can relax. Get additional gateways, perhaps go for a robotics facility or a Twilight Council or a Stargate. There it is. There's the Stargate. ShoWTimE loves him his Stargates, that's for sure. Doesn't go Sky Toss. That is different. Doesn't really go Sky Toss at all, but instead likes to go for the Phoenix. We saw an Oracle in the last game. Is this a number of Lings? Yep. Enough Lings to kill the Adept. Stuck out in the opening at Speedlings is not a place you want to be at all if you are an Adept, or really any unit. I mean, alone by yourself in the middle of the map when there are Speedlings running around, I'm not sure who can really handle that in all of the StarCraft 2 universe. I mean, if you're flying, you're fine, obviously, but of ground units, what single unit can handle a swarm of Lings? I don't think there's anything. I really don't. Yep. Lings can handle a lot of stuff, that's for sure. Holding the Zelnaga Watchtower, for example. Ling's still bouncing up, making sure that is a solid wall. Again, these rocks can be destroyed, or this debris, rather. I don't think that's officially rocks on this map. A Roach Warren on the way for ShoWTimE. And then there's the Roach Warren. There's the Extractor popping up. Now starting to get the gas here about the 4-minute and 40-second mark. Really heavily into the macro style stuff right now. Just recognizing what ShoWTimE's up to. Has scouted a lot of it with Overlords, as we can see. Sees the number of gateways. Oh, double Stargate. So what? So right as I say, ShoWTimE does not go Sky Toss. He's kind of going Sky Toss. I don't know. This could just be a Mass Adept Phoenix play, which we've seen work fairly well against Zerg in the past. So going for it. Does scout this high number of Adepts. That should be a tell for Nerchio to see what's going on. Got Roaches popping out. Roaches do very well against Adepts at the same time. And there it is. Roaches getting some free shots off with that Acid Saliva. There's nowhere for them to go right now. One dies immediately, but forced to retreat, or at least keep... Yeah, not going to finish that. I was thinking not going to finish that Adept transfer at all. That psionic transfer. Really double pumping Phoenix right now. So yeah, it's going to be It's going to be Phoenix Adept. Nerchio knows what's coming. So, I mean, whether he can hold it or not, it's not going to be in the dark. It's not going to be a strategy he didn't see, wasn't aware of. He's got a lair coming up now. He really should be making some Spore Crawlers. I don't see any, though, which is a problem. Phoenix really want to kill that Roach, and they do. The Queen's not able to kill the Phoenix flying around. There's a Spore Crawler there. And I think that might be the only Spore Crawler on the map. If we take a look at structures real quick. Yeah, there's only one Spore Nidus network coming up for Nerchio. What? All right, so in the face of this incredible harassment with Adepts and Phoenix, he's going Nidus off of 3 bases. Overlord trying to sneak up, find a place to land that sucker. Phoenix continuing to boost around. Just flying right over those Queens, though, is not where you want to be. This is a lot of Queens for defense for Nerchio right now. He has 10. 10 at the 6-minute mark, and Overlord is going to die. I think the Overlord's okay with that. Temporary supply block, although 98 out of 98 is absolutely a supply block. Nerchio does have an Overlord ready to go. 2 more in production, just in case more bad things happen. There's the Nidus. Ravagers coming up. Haven't seen any Ravagers to this point. And there's the Nidus. Where is it? There it is. Man, it's even hard to see when I know where it is. Oh, man, good location here. Inside the shadows, kind of away from stuff. I mean, the Phoenix can't win this game. There it is. The Nidus pops out. Queens are here. Ravagers are here. Oh, no, ShoWTimE. Run! Run, probes, run! Corrosive Bile landing on a pylon. No photon overcharge is available for you today. Bam, there's one dead pylon, the other one too gonna die, being focused on down. This is a lot of Queens. The Lings kind of stuck in the back. They want to be in the front, but there's nowhere to go. Phoenix flying around. There's not much for them to kill. Depowers everything in this location. Ravagers, Roaches going to town. Any Immortals in this army? I don't think so. I think ShoWTimE skipped Immortals. He has 1 on the way. No, he has 2. Where are they, though? Where are his Immortals? I don't know. Lifting. The Phoenix are lifting as many units as possible, but Corrosive Bile's landing. Photon overcharge 2 at a time. Can ShoWTimE hold this thing? No, more Lings are streaming out of the Nidus network. ShoWTimE wasn't able to kill it, which is a huge problem. The Lings coming right on top of the sentries, right on top of the Stalkers, and killing a few of them. Nicely done. Corrosive Bile's landing. Is Nerchio retreating here? Nah. He has the army advantage here. 90 to 77 total supply. Just sitting on the creep. Throwing down some creep tumors might not be bad. Goodbye, second Nexus. And it does end up falling. Income tab is 37 to 38 right now. So keep in mind, I've talked about this before. Nerchio cut a lot of workers to make this happen. ShoWTimE is not quite dead yet. It's just army supply is a problem. 42 to 73 in favor of Nerchio. Those Zealots die immediately. Creep tumors are here. This base is now for the Swarm. Moving on up to try to kill... Oh, the Immortals are defending this base. All right, so a lot of Immortals. Again, more Photon overcharge here. Not as much as we used to see, as Mothership cores can only hold 4 in their bellies at one time. But here comes the Immortal Zealot Phoenix composition, killing yet another pylon. Does not supply block ShoWTimE. He's too good for that. It's just the Immortals don't do extra damage versus Queens. So, I mean, their specialty is dealing with things like Roaches and Ultras. It's just nothing in here really fits that categorization, you know? So Simulator dies, base completely gone. It's officially 2 base to 3 base right now. Again, the income tab, 37 to 44. Nerchio droning a little bit back home in, going for a Spire. Maybe a tech switch into a Muta would be excellent here. None of this can shoot up at all. Creep spread continuing to push towards this base. Creep tumor gonna pop. There it goes. There it goes, spreading so much faster than it used to. And also recedes quicker when it dies. Corrosive Bile's landing. Nerchio being patient. There's no reason to go after it now. He has the base advantage. He has the worker advantage. ShoWTimE is trying to make this thing happen, but it's just bringing the Immortals in. Transfuses as well, keeping these Queens alive. No kills on that Queen. No kills on that Queen. 3 kills on that Queen. Really better against air targets than ground targets, but hasn't lost anything. ShoWTimE hasn't lost anything here either, so you got to keep that in mind. Creep spread really should start pushing in as fast as possible. Another base coming up for Nerchio. I'm just not sure what ShoWTimE can do. He's replacing his Cybernetics core. I mean, he really can't go air because the number of Queens. There are a lot of Roaches in here too, so the Immortals doing a little bit better against this composition than they did back when it was just straight up Ravager Queen. Overseer getting morphed in here too to get that high ground. There is a single Corrosive Bile landing, single sentry, single force field, another Corrosive Bile landing. And you can go up there if you want. Immortals coming from behind, trying to do a sneaky attack from behind here. I don't know. The sentry's good. Going home, though. Going home is Nerchio. And ShoWTimE cleans it out. Trying to kill this Overseer, trying to kill these creep tumors. Does manage to get at the creep overseed eventually, but it's 147 to 121 total supply. Army supply 92 to 91. ShoWTimE's actually not doing too poorly on the army supply side of things. Muta's popping out. Like I said, there's that tech switch to Muta. I mean, there are some sentries here, but this might just be it for ShoWTimE. The tech switch to Mutalisks was absolutely brutal and brilliant. Currently 13 Mutas. Observer sees it. Mutas really want to kill maybe the sentries, maybe the stalkers. The Phoenix have to deal with this. No, one ends up getting killed there too. Phoenix, they ostensibly can do this, but it's difficult. War Prism gonna die, and that's it. The GG from ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is defeated. Nerchio is victorious here in game number 4. So it's now 2-2. We've tied up the series. Zerg 2, Protoss 2. Moving into a game number 5. That is not the deciding game. It's a best of 7, but still, winning game number 5 could be the success key to winning the whole darn thing. So bear with me, and we'll be back in just a second. Hello, StarCraft fans. We're back with game number 5 between ShoWTimE and Nerchio from the WCS 2016 Grand Finals Best of 7 series. And this is the map Ulrena. In the bottom left side of Ulrena, we have the red Protoss player. It is ShoWTimE, currently tied with his opponent 2-2-2. And in the top left side, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Nerchio, hailing from Euronics Gaming. Did win game number 1. And did win game number 4, but dropped the 2 games between them. So we are basically back at a blank slate right now. Both players, it has turned into essentially a best of 3 series. Whoever can win 2 of the next 3 games is going to be the victor and the champion of WCS 2016 Spring. So root for your Protoss if you're Protoss, and root for your Zerg if you happen to be Zerg. So this is Ulrena. It's a 2-player map. It's weird. I know it's weird. It looks huge in 4-player, but it's not. You can't spawn over here or over here. There's a crazy gold base here that you can get to by land. There's a crazy gold base here you can get to by air. There's a single Zelnaga watchtower on this tiny little narrow choke pathway to get from your base on the top to the base on the bottom. A lot of stuff happens here on this little tiny choke. Also, if you want, you can knock down these rocks for a larger way to get around to your opponent, but that happens maybe about 50% of the time. Once again, ShoWTimE scouting around with the probe. I love how active ShoWTimE is with his early probes. A lot of players don't bother with this. I don't know why. I mean, getting the scouting information seems super important. ShoWTimE, again, is in the Grand Finals. Let's see who else he beat. Who else is on this list here? ShoWTimE beat Massa. ShoWTimE beat Violet. ShoWTimE beat Guru. ShoWTimE beat Sort of. So, I mean, these are some very good Zerg players and then a really good Terran player to wrap it up. To come up against another Zerg. ShoWTimE's like, oh, there are so many Zergs in this tournament. And it's true. Legacy of the Void is pretty heavy for Zerg these days. Spawning pool on the way, just about to complete. Pylon Nexus, with a Cybernetics core back at the top of the ramp. So ShoWTimE is recognized on this map. You can't really wall this off very well with buildings, so he walls off this ramp and then hopes he has force fields and cannons and stuff to try to deal with Ling run-bys down along this area. Nerchio has really been favoring roaches. He went Hydro Lurker for the first 3 games, it seemed like, and then the 4th game it was more of a Roach Ravager Nidus play, which, man, that's the 3rd game in a row he's gone for Nidus, isn't it? I think it is. So Nerchio, new meta, go Nidus, Zergs. Just do it. No matter what's happening, just do Nidus. Nerchio does it, you'll win. That is the Falcon Paladin promise of excellence. Mothership Core is here. Warp Gate research on the way to Metabolic Boost. Definitely something all Zerg players want. Don't skip it unless you're going straight up Roach Ravager and you have no idea why you would ever use Zerglings again, which is pretty a rare situation, I would say. Cybercore is here, and it is going to be a Twilight Council. Whoa, sneaky Twilight. Oh! Ninja Twilight with, I'm going to have to say it's going to be a Dark Shrine. That's the next thing that comes up. So this is why you scout as Zerg. You come in, you see the number of pylons, you say there's a pylon missing. If there are only 2 at this stage in the game, there's got to be 1 somewhere else, or else ShoWTimE is basically supply blocked. Gateway there too. And you say, where's that other tech? Right? That's what Overlords are here to scout for. Scouting for the other tech. Where's the Stargate? Where's the Robo Facility? Where's the Twilight Council? If you don't see one, Dark Shrine. There it is. Dark Shrine on the way from ShoWTimE. Gateways, double gateways coming up here. It's going to be a Dark Templar attack with some Adept opening. Again, Speedlings on the field, not the greatest. Not the greatest if you're trying to kill your opponent with Adepts and they have Speedlings. But regardless, trying to hold this line are the Adepts. I mean, you'll kill a lot of Lings, but you'll die too. Unless the queen stops hitting. Is that one going to die? No, it gets out. They both escape. They both escape to home. Overlord says, where is your other tech? Nerchio says, where is your other tech? What is happening? And to defend Spore Crawler. That's what you do. If it's DTs, Spore Crawlers help detect. If it's Phoenix, Spore Crawlers help detect. I mean, those are the things you're going to get from Ninja teching. Lings just barely missing that pylon. Are they going to see this one? They're kind of make a beeline. Making a beeline for it. Nope. They swing around. They swing all the way around. Okay, so they're just actually trying to attack the Protoss player. And not actually scouting for other tech. Did he see that one? No, we didn't see that one. Adept's trying to come through, being held with a spine crawler, though. Ah, that's so mean. That is so mean. Overlord continuing to scout. Where is the other tech? Where is it? What is happening? Actually does see a robotics facility, but that thing is late. 4 minutes is late. Spine crawler. Rawr, says the spine crawler. You don't do extra damage to me. I am a building. And you can't just get past me either because I'm holding this line. Roaches in there too. Yeah, Adepts want nothing to do with that. Adepts taking the long way around. Warp Prism is here, warping in the DTs. Here are the first DTs, 5 minutes into the game. Trying to sneak on in. Do you have Spore Crawlers? Nerchio, why? Nerchio, no! Alright, DT is going to town. Bam, you now know. Nerchio, you now know. There are DTs here. Get Spore Crawlers up. Spore Crawlers up. Okay, they're on the way. They are on the way. They're just not here yet, is our problem. DTs really want to kill these Spore Crawlers, and pretty easy to do so. They hit hard. Is it 45 damage? 45 damage per swipe. That's a lot. It's just they die very fast, and they don't hit very fast either. So, Overseer on the way? Nope. Adepts over here trying to kill stuff. They're trying to get in on the action, but these Roaches and Lings say, not going to happen at all. DT's trying to kill these hatches, and you know what? They might get them. There's a lair on the way, but it's not here yet. Spore Crawler trying to get down to save that thing. It's not going to be enough. I think the DTs have this one. Do they have this one? Yes, they get it. They pick up the DTs. The hatchery does end up falling. This Spore Crawler does manage to get planted. But DT's taking down the Roach Warren. Holy shamoly. These are really good DTs. Bam! Roach Warren gone. No more roaches for you. Hatchery dead. Overseer finally getting morphed in a minute after they show up. 6 minutes into the game. Warp Prism saves all of their lives. Did any of those DTs die? Yeah, alive. There are 6 out on the field. 6. Third Nexus on the way. Income tab 58 to 39. ShoWTimE has a huge lead on worker count right now. Army supply 34 to 28. Doing it right, man. That was some excellent DT play. Some of the best I have ever seen. This Spore Crawler might actually die. I think it will. I mean, that's going down pretty quick. I'm not sure it will not die before that hatch completes and allows it to have some very nourishing creep there. I don't know. Pylon here. ShoWTimE just basically doing whatever he wants back home. Not worried about a response from the Zerg at all. That thing, yeah, there we go. Picking it up. That does stop it from killing from dying for some reason. And then burrows onto the creep. Boop. And very happily starts to tick that health north of 38, closer to 400, hopefully. Blink coming out now. Archons coming out now. Pneumatized Carapace on the way for Nerchio. How do you respond to this? Is the question of the day. That's an Overseer Cocoon, just trying to scout things out, try to see what exactly he's dealing with. What he's dealing with is a 62 to 54 discrepancy in worker count. Here comes ShoWTimE. He has Adepts, he has Archons, he has Stalkers. Upgrades on any of these guys? No, I don't think it really matters though. Spore Crawler dies. There is a small number of Lings here, force fielding out those Roaches, small number of Roaches, and that's it. The GG from Nerchio. Nerchio is defeated. ShoWTimE is victorious, taking game number 5, and now leads the series 3 games to 2. Oh boy, moving into game number 6, coming up right away. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to game number 6 between ShoWTimE and Nerchio here on Prion Terraces. In the bottom right side of the map, down 2 to 3, it is the blue Zerg player Nerchio. And in the top left side of the map, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Millennium, and currently up 3 games to 2, it is ShoWTimE! So game number 6 between these two players. Nerchio has his back against the wall, man. Loses one more game, and he is out. That is it. He made it to the end of the finish line and then got past at the last second. Which has got to be a bad feeling, man. Would you rather just straight up lose, like place 10th or 15th in a race, or get second by 0.89 tenths of a second? I feel like that would be terrible. That'd be really bad. Actually, one of the columnists I read for sports named Bill Simmons, back when he used to write columns. Actually, he doesn't really do that anymore, but he wrote one called The Levels of Losing, where basically he talked about the different ways you can lose. He was a Boston sports fan, so for a long time the Celtics were kind of bad. The Red Sox were really bad. We're talking about the late 90s, early 2000s, before the Red Sox and the Celtics both won titles because, dang it, Boston. Anyway, and just different ways you can lose. There's the stomach punch loss where you think you had it and then like one play just crushes your soul. And the one where you pretty much had it won or you were close to winning and couldn't quite pull it off. And then just the straight up getting smashed in the ground from game 1 type thing. So this is not one of those. Nerchio has fought hard and fought well. He's won 2 games so far, but he needs to win another one to stay alive, which is the problem. And don't look and see how much time is left on this video because I use some anti-spoiler techniques, so you can't tell. You can't tell. You can't look at that thing and say, oh, that's how many minutes are left. Clearly Nerchio wins, or clearly ShoWTimE wins. Nope. No siree, Bob. Anti-spoiler techniques are in full swing right now. They will fool you to the end of time, and that is what they are for. Okay, all right. That's enough being combative. Thrown down a pylon there is ShoWTimE, and yeah, taking the gold, and let's see here. Why would he not? This is weird. Why is your first base there, Nerchio? This is a nice gold base close to home. ShoWTimE thinks he's denying it or whatever. Does he know that? He knows that's there. He scouted it. He didn't scout it. What the heck, ShoWTimE? All right, now he is. Now he is. Now he says, why is there not a hatch at the 2-minute mark? This is insane. Oh, I see. The hatch is here. This is weird. I don't know why Nerchio would bother throwing his first hatch, or rather a natural hatch up here when there's a nice gold base in this location, I guess. Maybe he waits for Lings to come out and then throws the hatch down after the probe is dead. Or at least the probe is gone. Yep, so that's not scouted. I mean, ShoWTimE assumes it's there, but he can't really scout it at all. The Lings really want to kill this probe, but they decide to back on out as they know an adept is coming. ShoWTimE really good with that early first adept. Timing is always perfect. Nerchio can count on it. Nothing to worry about there. Stargate. Did he scout the Stargate? Scouted the Stargate. Nice job with the Overlord. It's right here on the edge, so it's very easy to scout. I'm not sure if ShoWTimE wanted Nerchio to see that or what. It seems possible. I mean, we're at the point where mind games are in full swing. If you just do the same thing you've always done, then you're going to be in trouble. Like in the last game, for example. In the last game, ShoWTimE went for a DT rush. A Ninja DT Dark Shrine rush. Made it happen. Killed a hatch. Killed a ton of workers. Nerchio was hopelessly behind. And that was the end of the story. So, man, ShoWTimE making it work. Lings, Speedlings are out. That adept needs to get home now. Go. Speed walk as fast as you can, adepts. They don't run, really. They just kind of speed walk. And made it through. This, what is it called? The Psionic Transfer ability can go through units. So this wall is a complete wall, except for the fact that there is an adept here that can phase through it. Can't phase through buildings, but can phase through units. Keep that in mind as always. Oracle on the way for ShoWTimE. We've seen one other Oracle in this game. That was in game number 3 on Ruins of Endion. I believe is what that was. Yes, it was. Making another one here in game number 6. Another Oracle here. He's going 2 Oracles? He is. All right, so Oracle's on the way. Nerchio, do you have your Spore Crawlers, Nerchio? I guess we'll see in just a second, won't we? Sneaking on in. Oh, doesn't have one at the natural. Oh, that's brutal. A lot of dead drones. 5 killed. Even with 2 queens beating on this Oracle, 5 kills is an excellent number and stops all mining at this base. Oh, Nerchio. Now making a Spore Crawler. You saw the Stargate opening. Why would you? I don't know. Oh, this is trouble too. This is a lot of trouble for Nerchio. That Oracle's flying right on in. There is no anti-air here at all. Run! Immediate pull! Queens do manage to show up thanks to some really good creep spread. Oracle trying to sneak in. The queens are missing from this location, but the drones are gone too. So Nerchio doing a good job not mining where there is no static defense. But that's a lot of dead drones, especially this early in the game. That's 8 workers killed by ShoWTimE. Thus far, it is now 45 to 35. ShoWTimE has a 10-worker lead. Nerchio needs to do something or he is dead. Lings do manage to take off a probe. Can they get a surround on these sentries? Holy shmoly, they might surround. Oh, 1 sentry dies. Another one's going to die there too. Well done. Killing sentries is always good, especially in the early game. Not letting them get the energy they need for force fields really adds up. Another one dies. What? These Lings are on a mission to kill sentries. Can they kill another one of them? They're kind of focusing on different ones, which is a problem, but another one does die. Lings coming around the force fields. The number of sentries that have died thus far is pretty high. That is bad news for ShoWTimE. He was counting on those. He was counting on having a lot of them. Oracle's still flying around trying to kill stuff. 3 kills, 5 kills. Not really doing much by way of that. Photon Overcharge popping up yet again, killing Lings. Not super efficient at doing it, but it does kill them. It does get there. Lings bouncing back and forth trying to kill these probes. This base is under complete lockdown. Queens marched all the way across the map. Run! Run, everybody. The Queens are here. And yes, ShoWTimE pulls back to the safety of his natural. He's just completely giving up on the third base. The Oracles need to even this score as fast as possible. Workers killed is now 9 workers killed by Nerchio to 8 by ShoWTimE. The Nexus is going to fall. Boom. Pylon dies at the same time for dramatic effect. The Queens want to go home now? Is that what this is? They might just want to go home now. Oracle's trying to kill a Queen. Spore Crawler getting shots off. Queen does end up getting killed. Queen not able to get anything off, unfortunately. Another Spore coming up. 2 Spores, not bad. I feel okay about that if I'm Nerchio. 38 to 43 workers. Nerchio has taken the lead on that worker count. Spore 1, Spore 2. Ah, run! Yeah, Oracles are very fragile. They cannot really get hit by anything and hope to live for too long. Still, 2 Oracles back here. We have 5 kills on that one and 5 kills on that one. A Queen was killed by the Oracle. That doesn't happen very often, but it did in this game. 6 minutes and 56 minutes into this thing. It's a bit of a reset. Nerchio on the 3 bases, but 2 of those are gold. Only 1 of ShoWTimE's bases are gold. That average income is going to be different, as we can see. 24 versus 15 on the mineral income. A lot more gas for ShoWTimE. Harvester count by Nerchio, 53 to 38. Replanting the base. ShoWTimE. Lings dancing around, trying to do what they can to kill stuff out in the open field. No, that's not enough Lings. I was going to say the Lings might be able to get a surround on this, but they're good against Stalkers, they're good against Sentries, but force fields really change the game. You can force field those Lings away from you while the Stalkers hit them instead of getting punched in the face. Stalkers are a lot more effective here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Ravagers from Nerchio. Just the number of Sentries means a lot of force fields, and Corrosive Bile can take down force fields. Not that it happens a lot. Is that a Stasis Ward attempt? Stasis Ward attempt. It's a single drone. That's weird. Does stop it from mining, though. That's fun. Get back to work, drone. I know you got Stasis Warded. I know you want to take some time off and work with your PTSD, but oh boy. Ling run by. The army got out of position in just a second. Double Photon Overcharge does chase them away. So that's all right. That could be worse there. That guy's still not doing anything. Drone, get back to work. Pneumatized Carapace on the way. Pushing out is ShoWTimE, recognizing he needs to make something happen and make something happen now. Kills a Creep Tumor, kills another Creep Tumor. Lings up. Again, without the sentries, Lings are not good. Hydras, Queens, amazing force field curve there. Nicely done. Oracle's trying to do stuff and kill things while threatening at the front. Does he have an observer with this army? I do not know. So Blink Stalker Micro just trying to do some stuff, but the Lings, too many Lings there, too many Queens. In production, more and more Hydras, melee attack level 1, missile attack level 1, muscular augments here as well. Nerchio really wants to do this thing. Nah, the force fields. Oh, the Lings do manage to escape. A Revelation tossed down on everybody there. Another Ling run by trying to get inside this base. There's a single cannon. There is a Photon Overcharge and a big warping of Zealots. So alrighty then, more force fields here, keeping Lings away, but they do manage to sneak around this left side. Force field a little bit late. No, keeping the Hydras away from everything. ShoWTimE up 130 to 128 total supply. Looking good. Looking good right now. Marching up into this third base, or rather the second base as it was. The lair is here. Oh no, Nerchio, you can't lose this lair. The Zerg player is seconds away from losing right now. I don't feel like losing this base is something he can do. Yes, he has a replacement there, but that lair represents a lot of tech paths that are going to be gone. He does have a lurker den on the way, so he's not completely bereft of choices. But yeah, the lair's going to die. Nerchio's not even challenging this. Boom. Broodlings try to avenge the death of their home. Not going to happen. Out of there. ShoWTimE's got to feel pretty good about that one. Pretty darn good to this point. 107 and 92 total supply. Worker supply even right now. ShoWTimE could win this game in 6 right here. Right here, right now. I don't know what Nerchio has left. He's got some Hydras, some Lings coming up from the bottom side. Force fields destroying everything. Corrosive Bile does take one of them out. But I mean, could be worse. Hydras can actually hit from behind these force fields. So not the greatest spacing on Earth from ShoWTimE, but trapping everything. But this left side is really going to Nerchio's end right now. These Hydras are strong with a +1 attack. ShoWTimE has +1 attack as well, but Hydras are born to kill gateway units. Dead sentry there. How many sentries are left for ShoWTimE? Not any in this army. Zero sentries available. Oh no, Queens trying to deal with Blink Stalkers on their lonesome. The transfuses are continuous. Landing with the Creep Tumors. One does manage to pop down there, which is excellent. Comes up the rest of the army. Hydras. Ravagers. Nope, there's Photon Overcharge there as per usual. Trying to kill that pile, and this army is in full retreat as Speedlings are trying to get surrounds there. Pooping Creep to make sure that ShoWTimE can't take a base in this location. ShoWTimE takes a breath. It's 98 to 127 total supply. Losing this base doesn't seem to have slowed down Nerchio as much as I thought it would. He's regrouping. He's finding a staging ground here. He's going to trap these stalkers, man. No, they blink up. They blink up. Nice job by ShoWTimE. Trying to get that Warp Prism. Can they get it? No, can't get the Warp Prism. Does manage to escape. The Hydras they turned around could kill that thing. It's very nice to get Warp Prisms as they'll add a lot of mobility to the Protoss army they don't normally have. But definitely sitting back on 3 bases here is ShoWTimE. Income tab 47 to 48. Army supply 67 and 92. Nerchio has a big group of units coming down to do what they can against ShoWTimE. And yes, fighting everywhere right now. Hydras, Lings in the front as usual, forcing the Stalkers to retreat, not where they want to be at all, and continuing to march through. The Lurkers at the front line now doing a lot of work. That pylon is completely dead to this point. Spines on top of everything. Nerchio dancing back and forth, decides to go up this ramp. Seems like a good idea. There's nothing defending this at all. Killing the pylon, killing the cybernetics core. This section of army trying to come down, but getting absolutely ripped apart by the Lurkers. Lurkers here with +1 attack, 33 damage versus armored, which is what these stalkers are. Cybernetics core depowered, cybernetics core destroyed, and a GG! A GG from ShoWTimE. Nerchio comes back from losing his natural base at the gold to tie up the series 3 games to 3. Moving us into a Game 7 rubber match. Winner wins, loser goes home. And bear with me, we'll be back in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to game number 7 between Nerchio and ShoWTimE in this best of 7 series from the WCS 2016 Spring Championship. Currently, having won 3 games on the left side of Core Hall Carnage Knockout is the Blue Zerg player Nerchio. And in the right side of the map, currently having won 3 games himself, is the Red Protoss player ShoWTimE. Wow, what a back and forth series this has been. Nerchio wins game 1, ShoWTimE wins game 2 and 3. Nerchio comes back to win game number 4. ShoWTimE gets game number 5. On Lorena to take the 3-2 series lead. Nerchio needs to win, and he does on Prion Terraces in game number 6. Now we are here in game number 7. Winner wins everything, wins all the accolades, gets that little awesome thing on Liquidpedia showing them what big-time tournaments they've won. The loser gets to go home taking 2nd place, feeling okay about that, but again, not exactly where you want to be. You want to be on the top of the mountain, not just below it on the base camp. Alright, so this is Core Hall Carnage Knockout. The reason we don't see much of this is because I don't think players like it very much. The reason it's here in Game 7 and not earlier is because I imagine they vetoed it. These 2 players vetoed it as they continued to go through choosing which maps they wanted to play on throughout this best of 7. So eventually they ran out and said, I guess we have to do Core Hall Carnage. And ShoWTimE said, yeah, I guess we do. I mean, they've practiced on this map a ton of times. They know it. They just don't like it, I believe is how this works. But regardless, very standard opening here from Nerchio, going for that extractor. Or going for the hatch first into an extractor into a spawning pool. Nothing too crazy to see there. Cybernetics core coming up for ShoWTimE as well. Nexus on the way for ShoWTimE. And another assimilator. There it is. There's the other assimilator. Very standard opening. I don't think ShoWTimE has deviated from this at all in this series. I mean, after the Cybernetics core, all bets are off. We've seen a Dark Shrine. We've seen a lot of Stargates. We've seen quick Twilight Councils and robotics facilities. And those are all options today for ShoWTimE. I don't know if he's going to go for the DT route. That worked very well for him on Arena. I mean, that was one of the more impressive victories he's had. The other ones have been fairly close. Game 2 was pretty stompy, but to this end, if you're in Game 7 against a player, that means you are pretty evenly matched. And I'm sure ShoWTimE respects Nerchio as much as the other way around. A Metabolic Boost on the way for Nerchio. Adept on the way for ShoWTimE. Opening with an Adept. Just a safe answer against Zerg. Does well against Slowlings. 2 shots drones, which is super nice as well. And can also hold this line if necessary. Again, the speed is not even halfway completed here for Nerchio. There's the Stargate opening. ShoWTimE going back to what he knows. Going back to what he knows after that loss in game number 6. 3rd hatch up for Nerchio. I believe that was scouted. Indeed, it was scouted by ShoWTimE. Saw it with his little proby vision here. Do they have... I guess that's an eye. More of a robot eye. Here comes the Adept right through the middle of the map, through the middle gold base, which is weird. It's all surrounded by patches. It reminds me of Brood War, is what it does. These little sparse patches. Adept comes in. Does the Adept want to finish? Nope, just a scout. Oh, it does! It wants to get back there. Why are you doing this, Adept? Are you going to get any kills before you die? 1. 2 Lings killed. Ah, that's pretty good. and might actually even escape unless the Lings get it stuck. No, continue moving, and gets killed before the transfer allows her to escape. Before the transfer allows her to escape, the Adept is gone. Resources lost tab 125 to 50. So Nerchio is in the lead that way. Killing an Adept for a couple Lings is definitely fair exchange for any Zerg player. Zealot was going across the map, decides to come back home before this cooling tower is knocked down. Yeah, if you're in the path of these, you will die. So don't be in there, Zealot. Good job getting inside before that happened. Gateway up here right at the front. Photon overcharge available to hit both of these areas. Is that far enough to hit the other side? I don't know. I don't know if it is. Ling's trying to knock down this debris as everybody has a backdoor into this base, which is part of the reason everybody hates it. Zerg players, I mean, not a big deal. They can't really wall off anyway, but Protoss and Terran, if this back debris gets knocked down, pretty much it's a wide open entrance into your main. The cooling tower destruction notwithstanding, it's just a bad feeling. Again, ShoWTimE not too happy about that one. Overlord's dying. Nerchio is temporarily supply blocked until that Overlord finishes. Nicely done, Phoenix. Phoenix just remain active. ShoWTimE Phoenix are amazing Phoenix, is what I'm going to say here. Lings can knock down this debris as well, giving another attack avenue into the natural base. So they're going to go for that one. Zealot scouts it out, reports it back home. An Adept comes in. Oh, and can the Adept kill this? Yes. Yes, it can. I just knocked over my can of pencils onto that little rotate button. That's pretty fun. That's what that was. I don't usually do that. Phoenix do show up in the main base, killing more and more Overlords. Not supply blocking Nerchio quite yet. He does have a lot on the way. 2 more. In production, scouts the timing on that lair. Lings holding Zelnaga watchtowers just to try to see where those Phoenix are and hopefully take them down. Nerchio's dealt with these Phoenix really without going Spire, except for one game. The one game where he went Nidus Network first, but in the end, the mutas were good. But other than that, really haven't seen any Spire play out of Nerchio thus far. There's the Hydra Den that he loves so much. There is the +1 melee attack, which will be very useful for the Zerglings as well. Income tab 58 to 45. Nerchio's in the lead. Yes, he's lost a lot of drones, but he's been droning hard to make up for it, which is exactly how you need to do it. Either go Spire and just make those Phoenix get killed by Corruptors, or get Spore Crawlers up, take your acceptable losses over drone to compensate, and then try to win that way. Inject time, ready, go for it, Nerchio, bam. Oh, Nerchio, there it is, there it is. Little late, that's okay, little tiny bit late. Link's here trying to knock down this debris. Perhaps that's the expand path Nerchio wants to take over on that side. But what do we have here? More and more Phoenix. Production tab says, Warp Prism with Adepts on the inside. Resonating Glaives about to finish. Any upgrades on those ground units? I need to find a ground unit to click on. There's one. No upgrades complete yet. Muscular Augments on the way. Hydras on the way. And just droning. 67 to 48 workers. Whoa. Whoa. Nerchio is way up in worker count right now. Adepts ready to go here. Army supply 42 to 41. Pretty even. Nerchio is in a great position. And is that 640? Wow. So 18 worker lead. We do have Phoenix killing as many Overlords as possible. A pretty big Phoenix ball, but the Hydras are really scary as well. Muscular Augments has not been completed. They're not as scary as you would expect, and tries to take this gold base. What are you doing, Nerchio? You crazy person. Adepts are trying to take down this debris. Not good against buildings, but they'll get there eventually, and they do. Pushing in. Spore Crawlers trying to root over here, I suppose. A lot of Queens, a lot of Hydras. Nerchio has a good composition to deal with this, I think. I think so. And the Adepts want to get right on top of those Hydras and kill them. Can they do it? Yes, they finish it right up there. Adepts on top of everything, lifting a lot of the Queens. Are these Phoenix? A lot of dead drones mixed in here as well. Lings trying to do their stuff, lifting the Queens. Pretty much what the Phoenix are into right now. Not really killing those Overlords at all. The Adepts on the ground really keeping their numbers very well. That's a lot of dead Hydras. A lot of dead Hydras coming out of that on top, killing the Queens with the Phoenix. A drone pull. Spore Crawlers trying to do what they can, but it's 91 to 108 total supply. 11 Hydras in production right now, forcing another full retreat of drones in that position, trying to deal with it with Queens, with Hydras, but the Phoenix, again, doing what they need to do, pretty much negating the Queens in that entire battle just now. Hydras are taking them out one by one, but this ball of Adepts is pretty big and doing a lot of work. Actually, they're doing extra damage against Hydras, so not as bad against Hydras as you would think. Overseer getting destroyed there as well. Hydra trying to do this thing, and it's the GG. Well played. Congrats from Nerchio. Nerchio's defeated in game number 7, and ShoWTimE is our victor. Incredible play from ShoWTimE. Just an amazing display there. Made the Adept Phoenix Harass work. Again, the Phoenix didn't really kill a whole lot of stuff, but lifting those queens, taking them out of the equation, allowing the Adepts to deal with the Hydras directly instead of having to hit queens and not do any damage to them at all was absolutely beautiful. It was a perfect play by ShoWTimE. He takes the series 4-3 in a best-of-7 that went down to the wire. What an incredible play there from ShoWTimE. Again, it wasn't anything new. We've seen Phoenix Adept before, but the timing, the lifts on the Phoenix, beautiful. Hit Nerchio before he had as big an army as he wanted to. Nerchio got a little bit greedy going for that hatch down there, going for as many workers as he did. Yeah, he ended up losing a lot there. 47 workers killed by ShoWTimE. But up 20 workers just means your army isn't as big as you want it to be. Trying to take this gold base as well. Did not expect it. Did not see it coming. And ShoWTimE made him pay. So well done indeed to our Protoss player. Protoss wins the day. Wow, 9 kills, 2 kills, 7 kills, 6 kills. The numbers are high on these Adepts. These are some of the most cost-efficient Adepts I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's it. That's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another Best of 7 series. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. You can also buy my book. There's a link in the description to where you can purchase that. It's on Amazon. You can get it for your Kindle or for your Android or iOS device using the free Kindle app. It would really support the channel. I would really appreciate you people purchasing it if you're interested in science fiction and time travel and stuff. If not, no worries. But again, just be aware of it. And that's going to be it. So until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.